Can I turn this balloon into a chair? Well, I'm gonna find out.
Problem is, I leave the country in 3 weeks.
Can I make it work?
One of my favorite YouTubers, Connor Creates, recreated a balloon chair from artist Seungjin Yang. I hope I'm saying that right. And although Connor does an amazing job, I noticed he used a smaller gauge of balloon than Yang's work. So I thought, hey, why doesn't a guy who hasn't built anything except maybe IKEA furniture and Lego and has never worked with resin before, give it a shot? That's what I did. Now, where are we gonna do this? So we have two choices, the driveway, or I could do the porch. But problem is, there's cats.
We saw that.
Nico. That means no. Driveway it is. Let's get some tools.
So, I ordered some balloons. Turns out, that was my first mistake. More on that later.
Now see, animal folding balloons come in different gauges. Similar to a needle or your friends from high school who are really into My Chemical Romance. The smallest is 160. Your standard one that you usually see your balloon artists make is 260. And the big boy for furniture is 646. So as you can see, big difference.
Based on the photos, it looks like Yang uses a 646, so that's what I'm gonna use.
I thought I would try to replicate this chair, so I got to work. First, I gathered my tools. I laid out my drop cloth, hung up my sock rack, and got to work. So I coated each balloon by hand with resin till it seemed like they were covered, and then I would hang him on a sock rack I got off of Amazon. Unfortunately, hanging was not as easy as I thought, so I decided to take a 160 balloon and tie it to the top of the nut to try to hang them by, but they kept coming off. Another issue I did not expect was hair. No idea where that was coming from. See, the balloon attracts the hair and dirt like magnets because of the static electricity, and if you cover them in resin after that,
Gonna have a bad time.
all right, so I'm gonna leave that to cure. It's perfect. Tomorrow, I'm gonna come back.
Looks like two of them popped. It's really disappointing. This one looks fine though, it's just dirty.
It's like I did something wrong. Could be a few things. In Florida, the temperature changes have been wild. It's been as windy as the UK or as humid as the desert one day and another. Balloons can't really handle that kind of change. Could be that the resin wasn't fully spread out throughout the balloon and maybe one part ripped and let the air out. Or it could just be the humidity by itself that caused the balloon to pop. So remember I mentioned earlier that buying those colored balloons was a mistake? Well, here's why. As you can see in the videos of Yang, he actually uses clear balloons that he covers with colored resin. So this makes a lot more sense because you can see how covered the balloons are. I guess when it's the other way around, it's a clear coating, so you really can't see what's going on unless you have a ton of light, which unfortunately I do not. So most likely I did not have a full coating on all the balloons. If I did it again, I would definitely use clear balloons. I figure I'd try again and just assume that hopefully the weather was good today, that the balloons would survive. So one question I had while I was making this is how I'm going to make the top part of the seat, the one that you lean back in, the curved part. So the idea I had was wrap it around my body and just leave it there until it adopted that curve. See, you can use the warmth of your hands on balloons like these, and then they will bend. That's why you see a lot of balloon animals just seem to have just this natural bend, like hearts. So as I was trying to do here, it didn't exactly work. So this is the point where I started becoming self-conscious. See, my neighbors were very active that day. The one next door was, I think, doing a bit of spring cleaning, and the one across the street had some people over to do some work and move a TV. And I was wondering if they were going to come over and ask what the heck I'm doing with these orange udders that I'm hanging in the driveway. I got a little worried. There's a group chat. I'm staying in my mom's, and there's a group chat for the neighborhood. And I was waiting for the screenshot that my mom was going to send me asking what the heck I was doing and be known as Balloon Boy for the rest of my life. Or just anytime I visit. But you know what? You know what I did? I decided that I don't care. I'm just kidding. I actually covered them up with some cardboard. I took some Amazon boxes and I covered them in resin tape, which by the name I thought was going to be really useful, but it turned out to not work very well. All right, so this time we got our balloons hung. They all look great. We got a cover. There's nothing that can go wrong. Okay, it's probably the driveway. Sorry, cats. Time for the porch. Well, if I'm gonna do it on the porch, I need to, 1, figure out a thing to hang them from and hang them in, and 2, make it discreet. So like I said earlier, I'm not known as Orange Udder Balloon Boy. The first thing I need to do is I need to put the hook in the... Ooh. Okay, spend 5 minutes looking for the hook and then try to hook again. Put the hook in this... Oh. I broke down a bunch of boxes, covered them in the resin tape, and then hot glued them together. So I took some inspiration from those Costco refrigerator sections with the rubber flaps that you walk through. So I bought some acetate sheets, which apparently, according to ChatGPT, the balloon should not stick to it when they're covered in resin. Hopefully that works. Hey, I would say not too bad. Then that night I got to resining.
Alright, let's see how we did. Oh yeah. Oh no. Front 3 are great. Back 3 are all done. Damn it. Like they're deflating. This middle one looks okay. What a shame.
At this point, I really started to doubt my abilities. I just really felt like I was not going to succeed in this. Everything was failing. I was unable to take it inside because there wasn't enough ventilation, and I know how dangerous that resin could be, or at least I learned. So I wasn't willing to take that risk. So I really needed to keep it outside, but it just seems like no place was working. I took a break that was longer than I expected, caught up on Yellow Jackets and Severance, and then got a bit of inspiration and got back at it.
Oh my god! It fell off the thing. That's crazy. It never happened with the last one.
I spoke to some of my good friends, really smart friends, who gave me some ideas. One was to put one balloon inside the other. Another was to put resin inside the balloon and have it coated on both sides. So I decided to do a bit of an experiment. If I'm not going to make this balloon chair this time, at least I'll know what to do for next time, and in the name of science, I'll know what to do for everyone else.
Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Wow.
So there's no happy ending to this video, unfortunately. The chair didn't work. I couldn't make it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. And I ran out of time. I'm actually out of the country right now in Scotland when I'm filming this. I really thought about just forgetting about this video and not posting it. I mean, so many videos on YouTube always have a happy ending where there's a chair to see or where there's this big, amazing reveal, and I didn't have that. But I think there's importance in failure. I gave it a good shot. I tried hard. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the comments telling me exactly what I did wrong, and I welcome them because I do plan on doing this again. But what did I learn? I really learned the importance of not getting stuck in your ways. If I had just decided this is how resin works or this is how I'm going to do it, I never would have taken experiments and maybe tried the balloon inside the balloon or the resin inside the balloon or try to make this box. I learned skills. I got better at hot glue guns. I got better at balloons. I learned how to use resin. Even though I didn't end up making the chair, I did gain some new skills that I can use for other things. And so, yes, it didn't work and I failed. But in a world where so many people are so scared to start, I'm glad I tried it. And I'm going to take that with me to the next project. This is my first video, and I really want to thank you for watching to the end. It's incredible. And if you would, think about subscribing. I'm actually learning new skills each month, and I'm posting videos on learning those skills. This one was balloon twisting, which will have a video up soon. Next month's going to be lock picking, and then there's going to be a whole bunch after that. So I'd love to share that with you. Thanks.